365 Sports.
Boom. Happy homecoming, Baylor Nation. What's going on? It's the Green and Gold Game Day Show brought to you by 365 Sports. We love being part of the 365 Sports family. Love being here in the 365 Sports studios. I am across the river from downtown. I'm sure across on the other side, there is a lot of excitement right now with the parade. I know there was a lot of energy. Some energy, you could say it that way, at the bonfire last night. We've heard what's going on there. You know, we're going to get into football today. I mean, we got 3 hours till kickoff. We got a lot of time to talk about football. I today want to express my gratitude for Baylor and what this place has meant to me. I know so many of you feel the same. I want to express my thankfulness for the relationships, whether it was professors, mentors, peers, fellow students, friends. Hung out with several of my close friends from those days last night. And I'm a little nostalgic because this is my 10th year. I graduated in 2015. And so it's kind of the first time, 2025, here you look back, and you're like, wow, like that was actually another era of my life. And it was good, and it was beautiful, and I love Baylor. I love what Baylor aspires to be. I love Baylor when it reaches those goals, and I love what Baylor means to me. I know many of you feel the same. Want to thank our first sponsor of the day for we're gonna set the stage of this game, and want to thank Central National Bank, CNB. Thanks so much for your support of Green and Gold Game Day. Brian Fawnville, those guys. Listen, there's a lot of banks in Waco, and a lot of them advertise on a lot of these kind of shows. I'm telling you, go to CNB. Just go check it out. See what they can do for you. Also want to get our hour one fan vote up. We're going to do polls every hour, just like we always do on this show. And, I kind of opened by being thankful for homecoming. The hour one poll is, what is your favorite Baylor homecoming tradition? Is it pigskin review, bonfire, the parade, or the football game? I think were I voting in the poll today, it would be the football game. I'm sorry. I know that's boring. We do that every week, but I'm here for the Sailor Bear helmets. I'm here for it. By the way, when I was at Baylor, I just told you I'm old. It was 10 years ago I graduated. When I was at Baylor, Sailor Bear was like this mythical thing. Like now it's become this regular thing. It's on a lot of apparel. It's on the football helmets. I'm pretty sure we did on the basketball shorts this last year. Like Sailor Bear has become the official kind of alternate logo Baylor goes with, which I appreciate because it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But unfortunately, when I was a student, it was like this mythical thing that like if you had a shirt or some merch with Sailor Bear on it, you had like acquired, the Ark of the Covenant or something. Like there just wasn't very much of it out there. And I remember I had a Gold Rush. Y'all remember when they did Baylor Gold Rush? That dates me too. I had a Baylor Gold Rush shirt, I believe from 2006 or 7. I would have been like a freshman, roughly-ish at China Spring High School. Go Cougs. And I had speaking of Sailor Bear, thank you, Kevin. Look at that. There it is. Now, by the way, speaking of, I think the Sailor Bear logo looks way better on the white helmet than the green helmet. I'm getting some nods in the room. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. Round of applause. I'm only 5 minutes in. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a way better look than the green. By the way, this is also a better look than the green that we seem to wear every home game. Dude, I learned like very early on in my young life that you don't want to be monochromatic when you get dressed. Like, unless you were like going out last night for Halloween as Batman, or a banana, Like you don't want to be monochromatic. And Baylor just refuses to mix the colors up. And I don't get it. But the Sailor Bear on the white, I wish that's what we were rocking today. The guy that tossed me this is no longer available for toss. Don't drop this. It's not ours. I'm not going to throw it. If it feels like I'm stalling, friends, it's because I am. We have a football game today, and we're here to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it. Matt Mosley, Faith Lynch coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll be on KWTX as well. So if you're here in Waco, you can flip from YouTube to the TV. Thanks so much for joining us on Green and Gold Game Day. The numbers are trickling in. Thank you. Vote in our fan poll. Favorite homecoming tradition. If it feels like I'm procrastinating talking about this football game, it's because I am. I got to be really honest with you. This is a day of reckoning for Baylor. And Baylor's favored, and Baylor should be favored. And, this segment's called Setting the Stage because I want to lay out the stakes of this game for both teams. And just when you look at the narrative of both of these seasons, you start to realize very quickly that what I think most of us thought would be Baylor's easiest game on the schedule preseason was this game, right? Homecoming, UCF, rough year in the conference last year, is starting to become the day that this football program could have its lowest moment. And I don't mean to be overdramatic, and I don't mean to overblow it, but let's just look at what's going on here. UCF is 4-3. They've got 5 games left, and they need to win 2 to make a bowl. Here are their 5 remaining opponents. Baylor today, number 22, Houston, number 13, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, number 10, BYU. Here's what that means for UCF. Their mission is very clear. They need to beat Baylor today to make a bowl. They're going to beat Oklahoma State. They are probably not. I just can't envision a universe today where they beat Houston, Tech, or BYU. I think they are 3 of the 4 best teams in the conference, right? So I can't envision a world where UCF wins any of those 3 games, and they will absolutely beat Oklahoma State. And they are coming off a bye. They had a bye last week. So here's what UCF knows. We have to beat Baylor today to go bowling, which would be a big step up from last season, right? We got to do it today because, and no football team is thinking, because we can't beat Houston next week. Of course they think they can go beat Houston next week. But realistically, they know there are no easy wins left on their schedule after today except for Oklahoma State. Today's a big one for them. Now, Baylor, on the other hand, as we all know, if you're watching this, you're a Baylor fan. Again, happy homecoming to you. Best day of the year. Baylor came into the season off an 8-win season, looking to get up to 9, 10, 11 wins, looking to compete for the conference, and is 4-4, has 4 games remaining rather than 5, and is now, if we're being honest, after today, Baylor may not have a win left on its schedule. And again, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, but next week, in 2 weeks, next week's a bye. In 2 weeks, Baylor hosts number 24, Utah. That's a winnable game, but Utah is the number 1 rated offensive line in the country. Baylor's defense, we'll show you some statistics here in a minute, is not good. Baylor travels to Arizona. I could see that being a win. Arizona's not great. I think they're better than Baylor right now. And then Houston comes to town to end the season, and I think that's going to be a bad day for Waco. Houston looks really good. Houston, we'll look at the Big 12 race later in the show. I think Houston's got an inside track to this conference title game. Both of these teams need to win this game to make a bowl game. That's what it comes down to. Here's the other stat I want to throw at you as I was looking over these 2 teams. Cincinnati, who just scored 41 on Baylor and looked like they could have scored more if they hadn't maybe let off the gas a hair. Cincinnati at home only scored 20 on this UCF defense. This UCF defense, and I've done some work with Pete Souza this week, who has called a game for UCF, seen them up close, talked to Scott Frost this season. UCF is loaded with skill guys on the back end on defense. UCF is a defense that is really good at forcing turnovers. In fact, when I asked Pete what he thought about this game, he said UCF will have a defensive score in this game. That's a bold prediction. I don't know that I'd go that far. But Pete says UCF's going to score on defense in this game. So what I'm looking at is a UCF team that held Cincinnati to 20. They're 4-3. They need this game to get to a bowl. I think their defense is capable of slowing down Baylor's offense. I don't know that any defense in the country is capable of stopping Baylor's offense. What I do know is Baylor's offense is perfectly capable of stopping Baylor's offense. But this UCF defense is going to make some plays. What I don't know, this UCF offense is not very good. I think Taven Jackson will play today at quarterback. They've rotated through 3 quarterbacks in Central Florida. Like they haven't had consistency at that position. But Baylor's defense hasn't shown the ability to stop a Pee Wee football team this year. And so I'm looking at, okay, I think UCF's defense can make some plays on our offense. I don't know that our defense can stop their offense just because of what our defense looks like. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. And both these teams need to win a bowl or win this game to make a bowl. Which of these teams do you have more faith in coming in here? By the way, UCF coming off a 45-13 dismantling of West Virginia and a bye week. That's what we're looking at as we set the stage to today's game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll welcome Baylor football legend Terrence Ganaway. And man, he does not hold back on the state of this program. Don't go anywhere. It's Green and Gold Game Day.
Nation rolls along with Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup. From cars, trucks, to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Allen Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by. Let's be friends.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Oh, yeah, we're so back. 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day. Scotty Swingler here with you to get us started. Matt Mosley and Faith Lynch will be here at 9 o'clock. We'll be on KWTX. If you're local, you can turn that on Channel 10. Look, I turned my hat around so you could see. Hondo Hat Company, one of our sponsors. We'll thank them in a bigger way later, but love these hats. Okay, it is homecoming. That's awesome. It's one of my favorite days of the year. I hung out with some old friends. Like I said, it's been 10 years since I graduated from Baylor. It's a huge deal. We love it. One of my best friends from Baylor is a guy named Terrence Ganaway. You know him because he was a record-setting running back as RG3 was winning the Heisman. Terrence Ganaway was a pivotal part of that team's success. And Terrence and I host a podcast every Sunday night. It's live on YouTube called Please Bear With Me. We would love for you to join us. We'll be live tomorrow night at 5 o'clock to react to whatever happens today. And this past Sunday night, we got into the weeds, man. And I'll just be honest with you. We're going to kind of air some of this stuff out in this hour. And then when Matt and Faith get here and we go on TV, we're probably going to move a little bit away from the Dave Aranda thing, the elephant in the room, if you will, right? But I didn't want to avoid it completely because I think it would be dishonest to host this show today and not address it. I did hear Coach Aranda was greeted with some booze last night at the bonfire. That's unfortunate, man. I actually hate that. Like, I want to be really clear. I love the guy, and he's done nothing but be like an A+ Baylor human. But it's clear how the student body and a large portion of the fan base feels about it at this point. So this past Sunday night on Please Bear With Me, I got into it a little bit about how bad Baylor's team has been statistically. And then Terrence went on, and I'm just going to tell you, this is about 20 minutes of Terrence Ganaway just laying it out. What Baylor football means, what standards should be, and what he thinks is going on with this program right now. And it is a lot, and it is a little dour. But I thought it was too good not to share. I think when a former player speaks so articulately on the problem, we should listen. And I want to invite you to be a part of Please Bear With Me on Sunday nights. So here is some of our conversation from this past Sunday night. This is me and Baylor great Terrence Ganaway. And there are two men that stand up to the microphone, and one of them is Coach Dave Aranda. And we hear the same thing that we've heard for 4 seasons. We hear about care factor. We hear about disappointment. And we hear this sentence, which is now going to drive me up a wall. I know we're a good team. Or we're a good team.
It's good to see you guys. I'm way frustrated, man. It's angry, you know. That's a hurt locker room. You know, the thing that strikes me is we're in a position to get a stop and get the ball back to our offense to go win the game, and we just couldn't do it. Whether it's a yard short here or a guy less there, or we didn't make this communication here, it's just so frustrating. And you know, we got ourselves in position and we couldn't do it. So that falls on me, and that's hard to take any questions you guys got.
Is there something that's not, I don't know, translating? Because you talk about good practices, all of this, and then it doesn't really show up that game all the time. What's the disconnect?
Yeah, I think the things that whether it's specifically for defense, the things that we're showing them in practice are all kind of fitted up. We all walk it through. We all execute it and try to get it as fast as we can. It's not going to be ever the tempo that we're going to see today, or tonight. But try to get as fast as we can. But I mean, those things, they're positive, and the practices are intense, and it's like, everyone comes in here at the start thinking that it ain't going to be like how this just was, and so there is something that's not connecting, and we've got to get it to connect because we got a good team. I still believe in this team, and we got a lot of work to do to get that connection.
The way Cincinnati takes care of the ball, I'm guessing couldn't turn it over.
Yeah.
They scored 14 on your 2 tournaments.
Yeah. It's, you talk about just not starting as fast as we need to, and you talk about the turnovers, that those have been consistent with our ills. We have to get that fixed. I have to get that fixed. That's holding us back from some wins that we need and some momentum that we probably need even more. And so I think we have to fix it. But I think despite all of it, the fight to kind of get into the mix at the end has been something to see. But I told them in there, you can't live the way we're living. It's not sustainable. And we have to play better as a team than what we're playing right now.
Then Jacob Redding gets on the microphone. Mind you, walk-on who became a starter, earned his way up on special teams. Mind you, without Jacob Redding, this team would be 2-6. Just if he doesn't make 2 of the best plays of the season on interceptions, this team would be 2-6. Jacob Redding gets up to the microphone and tells the freaking truth.
Jacob, just I guess, how disappointing is that loss, especially with, it kind of felt like this was kind of almost a must-win. Like, what was the message after that game?
I mean, I feel like we've done a lot of talking. It's hard to say the right things, but I mean, the rest of the season's going to be like what our real character is, because reality is we're out of the Big 12 race, like that was our goal at the beginning of the season. But now it's like we got is the guys in the locker room, and how we're going to respond the rest of the year is that's what our real character is, when adversity hits. So.
Jacob, how tough was that to get in a 24-0 hole, and then you look up and it's a one-possession game there late?
I mean, starting fast was the message all week, and I mean we did the opposite of that. So, and we got to take the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice to Saturday. I mean, it's plain and simple. We've preached starting fast, and then we come out and do this. It's like, I don't know.
When you cut it to 7, or when you all cut it to 7, what was the focus coming out on that drive? Try to slow them down.
I mean, there was a whole lot of belief at that moment. We've done it before. We've proved we can come back against the wall. We proved we can come back and win ball games. But I mean, it was a must stop, and we just one guy short here, one guy short there. It's like just clean it up, execute.
What was there anything specific they were doing in the run game, or was it just blocking and?
I mean, it was just not sound in our execution of the game plan. So.
Is that guys not getting in their gaps, or what exactly was it?
Yeah, I mean, step slow, getting walled off, like not seeing a puller, not seeing this, not seeing that. It's like just a step slow or a gap slow, and gonna get you beat.
Frustrating that they scored 41 points. If you look at Swordsman's numbers, you largely kept him in check, but yet still 41 points on them. Frustrating for the game to kind of flow down.
Yeah, I mean, 41 points, that's a lot of points. You're not going to win many ball games giving up 41 points. And had over 200 rushing yards, and that's going to get you beat a lot of games, Like, I don't know, we just got to – little things was what we got. That's what we got to speak today.
Jacob Redding gets up on the microphone and says, we're about to find out what kind of character we have, because our goals, we've failed. Our goal was to get to a Big 12 championship, and that's out the window. And it's unacceptable. And now we're going to find out what kind of character we have, depending on how we play the rest of the season. And I was astonished and disappointed, if I can use one of Dave Aranda's favorite words, that a walk-on safety is telling the truth and taking accountability more honestly than the head coach of the football program. Now that we've got some people joining us, it's been 3 minutes since we went live. I want to throw up this graphic. And I just put this together real quick before we went live. Here's the graphic. Team rankings right now. Remember, there's 136 teams in FBS football. Baylor is 123rd in points allowed per game, 111th in yards allowed per game, 119th in defensive stop rate. That's one spot lower than we were last week. We were 118th, by the way. 135th in fumbles lost per game out of 136 teams. 133rd in turnover differential. 104th in penalties per game. And 92nd, Terrence and I were joking before we went live. Oh, we made the top 100 in penalty yardage per game. This is your Baylor Bear team in 2025. And the reason I bring up these statistics, and yes, I cherry-picked statistics. I did. There are lots of team stats out there. By the way, Baylor doesn't rank outstanding in any of them. But I picked these specifically because what do these stats have in common? They come back to the head coach. They come back to the head coach. Why do I say that? Because we hired a head coach who had just won a national championship as a defensive coordinator, and we are fielding a bottom, 6% defense, bottom 7% defense in the country. Because we hired a coach who was supposedly so steady and disciplined and singularly focused on football. And yet, what do fumbles and penalties tell you about this team? They don't play with discipline. They don't play with discipline. I have not played football beyond the freshman level of high school. And I know holding on to the football and not committing dumb penalties is a discipline issue. You can coach it out of guys or you can't. And this head coach can't. This is the reality of where Baylor football is at this week. Is this defense so behind the offense in terms of talent? And again, healthy talent. We know there's a lot of guys hurt. But is this defense so behind the offense that the offense isn't getting good reps in practice to prepare for games? Explain to me how that works on a practice field and if that could be affecting or if I'm drawing conclusions that aren't there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does something different, but our defense, our first team defense is not – they're not getting a ton of reps against our starting O. Maybe they have a period of two, but a lot of it is you're looking at scout team defense of defensive players. But a lot of it is I don't know if they're practicing in shorts or T-shirts or full pads, but practicing fast, being physical at the point of contact, finishing through, and then having defensive guys ripping at the ball, picking off the ball, and getting to the quarterback. They should reward the scout team defensive players as much as possible, incentivize them to hey, you should be celebrated if you get a pick. You should be celebrated if you rip the ball out from the starting running back. And then the offense has to instill a culture so high that we are not going to be embarrassed like this. After every run, after every caught ball, we're going to tuck the ball and we're going to sprint. I mean, I remember at Baylor, every time, the walk-on linebackers are just ripping at the ball. You're like, bro, the play's been over. But you wouldn't fumble it. I promise you that. They're like 5 seconds later just ripping at the ball. And so it's a standard that's been allowed. What you allow is what you coach. Turnovers, penalties, blocking issues. This ain't something that just happened. It happened last year. It happened in the spring. It is something that is coached. And when you say, hey, let's give someone else a nod at it, I don't see it. And I know that it affects people's jobs and livelihoods. But my 7th grade coach, Buddy Ray, walked into the locker room and he said, this room has a lot of potential. Potential will get me fired. And that's what this team is. It has a lot of potential, not a lot of production. And that is why we see what we see week in and week out. they're not producing or being held accountable to the standard that is expected from us fans. Maybe they're held accountable to the standard that they want to see. But, man, there's a lot of stuff, man, that I see on film, I see in the game, I see, and you can't tell me it's not being allowed at practice. You just can't tell me that someone is coaching this out of the players. They're not. And so when you have mental lapses like that, you get what you get. And Baylor has been terrible on defense all year. They've started to regress on offense. I don't know if there's a group on the field that's gotten better to this point in the season. I don't. You can't say, well, no, this group has gotten. No, you cannot tell me one group on the field that has gotten better. A group, not just a player,
right?
An entire group, safeties, DBs, receivers, inside receivers, slot receivers, a group, offensive line, and listen, at this point, Scotty, it's coached, which I think is a culture issue, and you can't fix a culture in midseason. You just can't.
I really like this one, Terrence. I'm not sure I love anything after my Lord, wife, kids, and Spurs basketball more than Baylor football, but right now I cannot stomach watching games anymore. It's not the wins, losses, 1-5 versus TCU. It's that I have no clue what school or team I am watching. There's no life, no fun, no motivation. There is zero identity. College football for fans isn't just win-loss record. It's all the intangible things that make game day special. Baylor has zero special things right now. By the way, well said. Terrence, Baylor went 8-5 in 2012. Baylor went 8-5 last year. One of those felt very different than the other, at least for me.
Well, 8-5 with losing a lot of guys. We brought back a lot of guys in the second 8-5, and we followed up the first 8-5 with 2 back-to-back Big 12 championships. Like Kendall, we had offensive linemen, we had a ton of the defensive guys, Elliott Coffey, all of those guys left. I left, Robert left, Philip Blake left. I mean, there were so many guys that had left that team to play in the NFL, to continue to play football. Was there anybody last year that went to play? I'm just being honest. I don't know. Someone drop it in the chat. Is there anyone from last year's football team that's playing football?
There are. I will answer because I know the answer to this. There are several who are on practice squads today. I don't believe anyone is on an active roster.
So two different. Yes, two different. This is why it is different. We were very fortuitous and we caught lightning. We did all the right things. I felt we were going to go to Texas Tech last year, and I felt like we were going to get blown out. I was hopeful, and they put a beating on Texas Tech, and I was disappointed in Texas Tech. You know, Joey was like, I got this one thing, no regrets. And I assume it was like a jab at Baylor for them not hiring him and hiring Aranda. But no regrets, and then we freaking blasted Texas Tech, and then we went on our 6-game, win record streak, and then we followed it with a abysmal loss to LSU. We started out this season with Auburn. You see how all that worked out. But listen, man, these teams were different because there is zero things special happening in Waco today. What our buddy just said couldn't be more spot on.
Yep.
There's not anything that brings the life out of people. Just
And by the way,
unwavering hope and commitment. Like, we're going to figure it out somehow. There's none of that.
And by the way, to that point, Terrence, the culture that was around that 2012 team meant that when a number one team walked into Floyd Casey Stadium, the number one team in the country, and got doubled up by Baylor, I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
I actually made a bet on that game and won.
I made a bet. I told you about that last week. Now I wasn't there with Chauncey Billups, but I was betting on games. But again, Scotty, like when you think about what that team expected and what fans expected when we walked into games, if you didn't show up to a game like at the kickoff, by the time you got to your seat, it may be 14-0 Baylor. Like, we get to our seat, we're down 14-0. It's like, all right, I guess our team hadn't showed up either. And this is week in and week out. Someone asked the question, why is it like lack of discipline? Because it's not coached. You cannot tell me, Coach Baber said this all the time. Ball security is job security. If you're coaching, if you're allowing people to put the ball on the ground in practice, you cannot be surprised when they put it on the ground in the game. If you're allowing passes, one-on-one, touchdown passes to not be thrown on the money, then in practice, then you cannot make it manifest in a game. If you're not putting your safeties in situations where they have to come up and fill the only gap, everyone else has played gap assignment football, A gap, B gap, linebacker field, corner field, the quarterback has to go up the middle, and you got a safety that cannot fill the gap on a quarterback. I'm not saying Robert Griffin or Lamar Jackson. We're talking about Sorsby. That is coached. It's discipline. There is zero expectation from us fans that it will happen, and it does seem like it's very little expectation that it's going to happen on the field from the guys on the sideline. And so when you think about why everyone is so frustrated, it's because the product is piss poor. It is bad. It's coached bad. It's ran bad. It's produced bad. Everything about the program is sour. And at some point, you got to say, we have to cut it off for it spoil everything else. And I think, in my opinion, I think everything else is spoiled. Sawyer started out as Saw Dog. Now he's Raw Dog, and that's not great. Bryson cannot run. He's not healthy. He's not getting what he needs to do to get healthy. And we got two freshman running backs that are trying to carry us, and we got a veteran-led offensive line that can't move the line of scrimmage. We got senior receivers that can't hold on to the ball. And I get it. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. It's a part of the game. But when you got a defense that is almost last in turnovers, because we ain't forcing anybody to make a turnover. We're not putting our guys in positions to go get an interception. We're playing on our heels, and we're getting blasted off the ball down after down after down. I honestly thought the game yesterday that Cincinnati might score 75 points. I didn't think they were going to punt the ball at all. And for some reason, we're looking up in the fourth quarter and we're down 7 points. And you're thinking, how in the heck did we get here? We got a really good roster. We got to get a really good roster. This roster with a different coach and a different culture, maybe 7-1, maybe 8-0.
Yep.
But the standard in Waco today, from Mac Rose to Linda to Dave Aranda, is a 4-4 standard, and that's why everybody is so frustrated. It was 4-4 standard last year. It was 4-4 standard in 2023. It was 4-4 standard in 2022, and it is why you've seen a decline, because there is no one in the building that's willing to say it is unacceptable. It's not going to happen. You either get up, you either crap or get off the pot. And no one's saying that. And it's the reason why we have a very average football team. And we've had an average football team for the last 4 years. And so I don't like to get this passionate about it, because I know some of these guys may follow me on Twitter and stuff. But I think if you're honest, you see it too. It was a great experiment. I don't like calling for people's job. I got a job. I want to take care of my family. But I said, head coaching, I hate it for the assistant guys more than ever. Randall, I don't know what his buyout, $30 million. You can retire and live in the hill country next to Art Browse. I feel for the assistant coaches. But right now, it's a bad product from top to bottom. Offense is struggling. They cannot run the ball. You look at what happened in 2012 when we went on a winning streak. Lake Seastrunt, I think he had 1,000 yards to come on in the second half of the season. And then he became the starter the next year. You know what he did the following year. But Nick Florence was a good college quarterback. When you take all the pressure off of him, you give him Terrence Williams that guy's one-on-one when defense has to come up to stop a Glasgow Martin and to stop a Lake Seastrunt, you're going to get one-on-ones.
Yep.
And we can't get any one-on-ones because defense got 3 down linemen and we still can't run the ball. It's a bad product. It's bad coaching. It's that graphic that you showed right there. It gets every defensive coordinator in America fired year after year. There is no one that can survive the job like this. No one in America can survive a job like this unless you're working under Mack Rhodes. It's the only way that's acceptable. The only way. If I don't go into the office and I say, hey, Aranda, 8-4 last year, LSU kind of got us, but it's bowl game. Maybe we let off the gas. It is unacceptable that you start out a season, SMU a couple plays away, Kansas State. I still can't believe how we won against Kansas State. I mean, it was a 3rd and 2, and they decided to go in the center and did not have a great play.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt Wells. Thank you. Appreciate that, Coach Wells. Thank you.
I have no idea.
Thank you, Jacob Redding.
Expectation is not, this is what you must do this year. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
The culture is not there to align with a 8-0 team. So that's all I got.
International Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball. We didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge?
Yes.
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Colin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor women's basketball.
I have Mack Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mack, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus.
You now have 2 responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
Drive into fall at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. From powerful Ram trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, to adventure-ready Jeeps and stylish new Dodges, we've got the right ride for you. Upgrading, downsizing, or buying your very first vehicle, Allen Samuels has you covered with friendly service and deals that make driving fun. Don't miss the Drive into Fall event, only at Allen Samuels.
Come by. Let's be friends.
Oh, yes. Back here live, 365 Sports, green and gold game day. We're across the river from the parade festivities. Happy homecoming. Best day of the year. Best holiday. I didn't even know it was Halloween last night. I was way too busy eating Shorty's Pizza. And that's a lie. I did know it was Halloween because I took my daughter to 3rd Street on campus. They had some Halloween festivities set up. And so if you saw a little ladybug that was the cutest little ladybug you've ever seen, walking around holding somebody's hands the whole time, very unconfidently but excitedly, that was my daughter and me. And we had a great time. Thank you, Baylor, for doing that. Hey, just for funsies, it is homecoming. And I was thinking to myself, if you had to construct a roster of superheroes based on Baylor homecoming, what would that look like? And I thought to myself, we can do this. I present to you now, Baylor Nation, the H-Men. Kevin, do we have a photo here? Thank you very much. The H-Men. Homecoming men of Baylor. Baylor's super team of homecoming heroes. Let me talk you through this really quickly. First of all, you need some heroes from Pigskin Review. Now, when you think of Pigskin, you think of showmanship. You think of people who are agile and talented and skilled on their feet. Moves for days. Baylor fans, the first 2 nominations for the H-Men are Robert Griffin III and Kendall Wright. Showtime, Baylor. Has there ever been a show on the Baylor football field better than RG3 and Kendall Wright? I think not. Of course, then we move to the bonfire. And if I think of players who not only play with their hair on fire, but also like to light a fire in others, there's two men that come to mind. Baylor fans, I would propose Jalen Petrie and Mike Singletary. Bonfire. H-Men. Okay. This morning, happening live across the river as we speak, there's a homecoming parade going on. Homecoming parade. What do you think of when we think of homecoming parade? We think of floats. Yeah. I'm asking my audience here. The audience is a little muted in the room. I need some more energy from the room, please. Balloons. Oh, that's good. Candy. Okay. All of these lead us to think of big men who can move things. Right? The H-Men. Thank you for your laughter. Andrew Billings and Spencer Drango. H-Men. Okay. And then the last thing, of course, the game. And we talked about it at the top of the show. The tradition at the game now. You wear the Sailor Bear decal on the helmet. Again, wish we were rocking this today. I like the Sailor Bear on the white helmet a lot more than on the green. Wish we would mix up our colors, but that's okay. Sailor Bear. I was trying to think of how to make a player a Sailor Bear, and I was thinking of one of my favorite cartoons growing up, Popeye the Sailor Man, right? And if I look at Sailor Bear's face, Sailor Bear, by the way, probably from the same era, Kevin, as Popeye the Sailor Man. Thank you. When I look at Popeye and Sailor Bear, I think of guys that could just knock you out with one hit. Ahmad Dixon and Jordan Lake, H-men. So Baylor Nation, your inaugural H-men super team of homecoming heroes is RG3, Kendall Wright, Jalen Petrie, Mike Singletary, Andrew Billings, Spencer Drango, Ahmad Dixon, and Jordan Lake. Shout out to you. Happy homecoming. We're going to take one more break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap up this hour, check the results of the poll, get you ready to have Matt Mosley and Faith Lynch go live on KWTX. This is 365 Sports, Green and Gold Game Day.
I'm Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
Drive into fall at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. From powerful Ram trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, to adventure-ready Jeeps and stylish new Dodges, we've got the right ride for you. Upgrading, downsizing, or buying your very first vehicle, Allen Samuels has you covered with friendly service and deals that make driving fun. Don't miss the Drive into Fall event, only at Allen Samuels.
Come by. Let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out GatherCoRemodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Back 365 Sports, Green and Gold Game Day. My name's Scotty Swingler with you till the top of the hour. We're going to go live on KWTX at 9 o'clock. Man, so excited. Homecoming, big game today. Let's see if we got the results of our hour one fan poll. My man Andrew running the polls from home. So I hope I get these results. This is a little test before we go on TV, Matt. Mosley's laughing next to me here. There it is. Hey, Andrew. What's your favorite Baylor homecoming tradition? Wow, I did not expect this result, and I like it. I like this result. Pigskin review, 37% of the vote. Wow, that's awesome. I think that is one of the truly unique things at Baylor. It's awesome. Matt went to Pigskin last night. Matt, it's not your time to talk yet. I've got 2 minutes. and then you'll have 2 hours. It'll be fine. Bonfire, that is lower than I expected for the bonfire. 27% said parade. I think I thought parade was going to win. I think if, I said football game for me, shouldn't be a surprise. I thought parade was going to win. Man, okay, great stuff. Thank you so much for voting in that. We'll have another poll to introduce at the top of the next hour. Let me tell you what we're doing next. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Faith Lynch, Matt Mosley. I'll be popping in and out as I can as well. We're going to break down this football game, talk about the state of the program. I think Faith Lynch is really excited to talk about the coaching situation at Baylor. And Faith, by the way, has a place to speak on it because she is an athlete from Baylor. Like, her opinion, much more informed than mine. It's going to be a great show for you today. Again, we'll be live on KWTX. So if you're local, flip on that television. Channel 10 will be there. Otherwise, we'll see you here on YouTube. I'm getting signals from now I know what Matt feels like when random signals come in and he doesn't know what that means. This is Green and Gold Game Day. Stay right here.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge?
Yes.
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Collin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor women's basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
.365 Sports.
Is the Green and Gold Game Day Homecoming Edition. And boy, thank you. Scotty Swingler gave us a great build-up, lead-in audience. Faith Lynch with me. as always, and happy homecoming. It's a little bit dreary and foggy out, but still a great homecoming crowd. And I was coming into the studio today, Faith ducking and diving around the parade, trying to get in here, and we made it in. And though I love kind of being out there mixing with the crowd right now, most of the crowd is still kind of hanging out post-parade, visiting, maybe grabbing some breakfast tacos. And we are ready for this day, and I'm kind of ready to actually maybe focus on some football. And, of course, that's why when we do get to Mosley's Mind, I will focus completely on something else. But, no, but this is a fun time. And in Faith, we got polls, we got fan polls, we've got interaction with the fans. But welcome. Great to be back with you. Thanks. We only have a few games left, and the Bears are at a juncture where at 4-4, they really need to get something going here.
We do. Yeah, it's happy to be back. Happy homecoming. I mean, it's nice to have some fall weather and make it feel like football weather finally. But yeah, excited to be back in the studio with you, Matt, and with KWTX. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Matt and I always have a great time hanging out with y'all. So we will launch our first fan poll. What will the turnover margin be in today's game? Baylor +2 or better, Baylor +1, UCF +1, UCF +2 or better. So make sure you interact with us. Matt and I will give our answers as well, what the turnover margin will be in today's game. But thanks for joining us this morning, and we will get into Mosley's Mind very soon, Matt. So, you want to open that up?
Well, yeah, and I'm kind of anxious on this turnover margin to give people a opportunity that they're reacting to a turnover margin that's what plus. I mean, but the Bears, by the way, have been sadly one of the worst in the country at this. And so I think some of our options are +1, +2, -1, -2, and folks can weigh in. And Faith, we can continue to tell them how to do that. But it would be nice to throw the first punch on homecoming. How great would that be?
Oh, it would be nice to see.
To actually kind of try to get the crowd in it from the start. And one thing Scotty and I have been talking about on the Mosley show is just kind of what this will look like, what the environment will be like. And I think homecoming is such a festive time. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about in Mosley's Mind is just how in some ways we've been here before at a game like this. And I can remember how the Bears responded in 2023. And so we'll bring some historical perspective. But on this idea of turnover margin, it's, in the world of analytics and stop rate and all the different things we look at, it's still one of the old school, easiest stats in the world. And it's how careless are you with the football? How much do you protect it? It's enormous. And I mean, this team has a completely different record if they can get some takeaways. And I mean, the records over the past 5-6 years that Aranda's been here, it's remarkable when they force turnovers and when they get sacks. And I just remember there was a time when Matt Rule was still here, and then a little bit into Dave, where they had something called Take 3. Now, I think that was a Joey McGuire thing, but it was a rally cry, and Phil Snow was the defensive coordinator. But it really resonated kind of with the fan base, with the players, and when you're in the midst of like some great defensive players, and they did that one year, 2019. They just had an unbelievable defensive line, the way it came together. And I think that's been one of the most disappointing things of this year is just not being able to, I mean, they have talented players.
Yeah.
But what do we find ourselves doing every week? I see it on one of our rundowns for later in the show. Like, who's going to be the breakout? Yeah. Who will? And what we're doing is sort of grasping at things like, hey, Caleb Burns, can you do this? You're like a redshirt sophomore, or is he an actual freshman? Anyway, they need help from different areas.
Well,
and
I think that speaks to your point of, hey, you're a redshirt sophomore. Can you do this? I mean, we have a lot of young guys out there who just don't have experience. Maybe they're supposed to be good. Maybe they're able to have those takeaways and have done it in the past at the high school level, but it's just a different ballgame for them. And I think we're trying to put a lot of trust into these guys that have no experience of making things happen. I think we were spoiled with maybe some standout freshmen like Richard Reese a couple of years ago, like was hit the ground running as a freshman. So we've been spoiled with maybe seeing some of those things. When you don't now, it's under our expectation, under our standard.
I can always tell who your favorite players were because somehow Reese continues to come up. I'm like, can we say goodbye to Richard? We've tried.
He was really good. I feel like
he was, but they at some point they kind of moved him on out, and he was but anybody that can have, wasn't he the guy that had like 2 returns for touchdowns in the same game? That's nice.
I mean, that's nice. That's what we want.
I know. But the excitement level was so cool, by the way, when they had Abram and then they had Ebner, and one guy was like an incredible return guy and in open space. And I think that's been another letdown this year. We've talked about how bad the defense is, but it's like this had the potential of being a great running team. And I think UCF, that's what's scary is I think we kind of thought a few weeks ago this needed to be a gimme. This was going to be an easy one. And, man, all these teams seem to kind of start to figure it out before they play the Bears. 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati, these guys played really well. Last week against West Virginia, they broke down the door and got their first win in conference. Now, they're 1-3. They're not any great shakes, but they're kind of starting to put it together. And you know what they do? They actually play really good pass defense. They're a pretty good defensive team, and we'll see how the Bears stand up to that. They're also a team that, and they're a little bit unsettled at quarterback, but they do run the ball. And if you watch the Denver Broncos against the Dallas Cowboys, boy, somebody turned the air on in here. Somebody turned the AC, and I feel no. I feel great. I was kind of like, whoa, man, they're going to have me pass out on set. Somebody shipped, they shipped in a little bit of AC, and it feels just wonderful. But yeah, the UCF helmet, and I got to say, I like the texture, I like the look of it, and I like the fact that I feel like there's an army. I like the Black Knights. These people are the Golden Knights. Although I've noticed they've dropped the Golden, they go with the Knights a lot. But this is the Bears seem to wake up other teams. Other people have career days. Now, why does that happen? Well, it's when you're not that great. When you're not that great, other teams are going to break out against you. And today, I think we could make this thing, if we wanted to, all about Dave Aranda, and we will to some extent. Yeah. But what I would kind of hope today is that these players do this for themselves, not like let's save a coach. In some ways it feels like that time has passed. Like this feels like let's do it like for our families, our fans. Let's come out. Let's take care of business. And whether or not he's going to go on as the head coach, it could be really nice to come out and have a great homecoming and remind folks that, hey, this had the makings of a decent team. I mean, it doesn't feel like this team is headed anywhere right now, but it is wild how 1 week can change our thought process. And if they just came out today and went crazy and raced up and down the field, we could go, wait, where's that been? Yeah. Where's that been? And then maybe look forward to finishing on a high note.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look back at the start of the season and playing Auburn, blackout game, there was so much hyping up the season. We were in the college football playoff talk, Sawyer Robertson, Heisman. If you look at the season, and there was so much potential. And so much buzz, so much news going around that you can't help but get excited for the season. So when it's just a drastic letdown, people are hurt. So I think now you're almost playing for next season. You're almost playing to get people to come fill McLean for next season, to have fans come again. Sawyer Robertson did a press conference after a game and said, I only have a couple more games left at McLean in a Baylor uniform. So for the senior class of, hey, I'm only going to wear this jersey a couple more times. So yeah, let's go ball out. Let's go play. Let's add some fire back into this program of, they're friends with the sophomores and juniors on this team. They're friends with the freshmen that are just starting their journey at Baylor. And so they want to let them have a good career as well and have a good experience wearing the Baylor uniform. And I mean, guys come here because they want to play Baylor football and they want to play in the environment that McLean provides. So when that's not happening, it's disheartening. And the players can only do so much to control everything else. But
I'm interested to see part of what Mosley's mind about today is change, embracing change. And the O-line coach in a weird deal left the team. And I don't, I've heard and we've discussed maybe what could have happened. It seemed to be, yes, the offensive line coach, Mason Miller. And there seemed to be some sort of confrontation, perhaps with another coach. It escalated and they tried to get him back. And he decided, no, I'm going to move on about my business. And we wish him the best. And I've reached out to Mason this week to kind of see how he's doing, what's going on with him. That said, sometimes a different voice in the room, whether that's somebody that's been like kind of an assistant offensive line coach, whether that's Spavital, whether that whoever that is on offense that decides to maybe go try to light up that room. Because what I'm tired of is like, Abedian has really been a nice player for the Bears. And so we go, okay, that guy's grading out well, and that's great. Where's the rest of the group? This was supposed to be a strength of the team, running behind, controlling the clock to a certain extent. And then real early, we found out against Auburn, SMU, all those early games, man, to have a chance, you need to put up about 35, 40 points.
Yeah.
And every team in my life right now has to put up too many points and has a rough defense. And I cover the Cowboys and I cover the Baylor Bears. But I can't help today but think back to 2023, and I was in the B room or in the letter winners room, because I am a letterman. No, some of us get it through our parents.
Yeah.
I do have ties. And I happened to be in there, and I had just called for Dave Aranda's. I just said, it's probably time to move on. And there Dave walks into the room, and we're all gathered there. And Dave, literally an hour before what a lot of us thought could be his final game, he addressed that room of former players in all the sports. And you need this when you report on things, and it's easy to get on social media and go fire him and all that. And then it was like a really genuine human moment where he's just like, hey, we need you, and I'm not going to do the whispery. Scotty might try to jump up here. We don't do that on the green and gold game day.
No, we do not.
We don't do the whispering Dave. But it was a really kind of, and there were some of my mom's friends were like, see, you were mean to him. And yeah,
you should go apologize. You hurt his
how
feelings.
nice he is.
It's not very nice.
That's not, you're not paid whatever, $5 or $6 million a year to be nice. But it was a nice kind of, human type moment. And I just wonder what it'll be like today for him. And I don't know, when there are a bunch of rumors and people don't know what they're going to do going to the bye, it's kind of like coaching these coaching chain or people that are speculated to be going elsewhere. Sometimes they feel the need to address it with their players when your job's on the line. I'll tell you what, Aranda does not seem like a guy who does that, who's going to worry. And one of the things he does well is he kind of holds everything out. So there is Mosley's mind, and I can't wait to get to Faith in the Field. We have that coming up pretty quickly here.
Yes, we do. Just want to go ahaid and thank one of your favorite people, Brazos Landing.
Thank you.
Yes, you have great ties there. Is it the Bang Bang shrimp that you just?
The shrimp. Yeah.
The shrimp. Yeah. That's a big fan of the shrimp. But when we come back, we will have Faith in the Field. So make sure you stay tuned with us. Thank you to KWTX and everyone watching, and stick around for more of the Green and Gold Game Day Show.
Nation rolls along with Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup from cars, trucks to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Alan Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
I am Faith Lynch with Matt Mosley, Green and Gold Game Day Show. Thanks for sticking around with us this morning and starting your morning with us. I think this is time for Faith in the Field.
Man, I hope so. No, it's a highly awaited segment, and I always enjoy it. And you've had some great ones. Josh Cameron comes to mind.
Yeah,
the great JJ Joe, the late great JJ Joe. That was a really neat earlier piece that you did. And today, I mean, whether it's homecoming, whatever theme you're looking for, I don't know if you're looking to make us sad or what we're doing, but I'm excited to see what you have on your mind. And are you sort of bringing some of your collegiate, career to the table a little bit, what you've seen?
I mean, yeah, I think I'll probably give maybe a different opinion. Well, you teed me up perfectly talking about, I think we can talk about Dave Aranda. And just being a former athlete
There's something going on with him. Yeah.
maybe something. I want to give, I feel I'm a nice person, very kind. I want to see a cup half full type of mentality. And so with everyone, fire Dave Aranda, blah, blah, I understand we are in a day and age of college athletics of lots of money, rev share, NIL. We are paying for results now. And so when you're not seeing those results, I get it. I completely understand. You, as a donor, you want to see results from Dave Aranda. People so quickly forget the 21 Big 12 championship, so quickly forget him taking in these guys of Baylor is a university who is a person over player. And so you want to see results from both sides. So when you're having more of the person over the player, or sometimes you're having the player over the person, Baylor fans are not happy. And there needs to be a call up, I feel, for Baylor fans of let's fill the stadium. Let's continue to support our Baylor football guys. I get we need results from Dave Aranda, but there needs to be more of a grace of firing him. I think, in my opinion, right now is not going to solve anything. Into the season, maybe, but right now, ripping away a head coach from a lot of these players who truly value him as a person and how they have moved in their personal lives of their walk with the Lord, or just creating better men in this program. I think people need to relax for a second and realize this is a family, to Matt's point of seeing him in the letter winners lounge of, he's a person apologizing if he needs support. He needs Baylor fans to rally around him. So I think as an athlete, a former athlete, you want to have your head coach through a season, regardless if you like him or not, because bringing in someone new, I think, just provides a lot of dysfunction. So it hurts my heart because now being on the other side of it, as I have my own opinion now as a wanting to work into this news industry, but I also can't help but say it. Like, we need to relax. We need to realize this is a man with a family, and as Baylor fans, we have to support him regardless. If you're a Baylor fan, you have to sometimes kind of get behind him.
Yeah. Well said. This is our resident Dave Aranda apologist has entered the fray. No, but I think it's great to have your perspective, having played Division I volleyball, and you were fortunate to have the same head coach the whole time. Yeah. And he's done such a great job and had so many top 10, top 20 teams, even top 5 at times. And he's made the Final Four, hasn't he, at one point? Yeah.
2019 ABCA Coach of the Year. I mean, that's insane.
So Ryan McGuire is a great coach. I would say, I think all these, my answer to like the whole family part of this, I always feel worse for like the assistants, and some of the coordinators and everybody are making huge money. Some of the other assistants really aren't. The support staff, all the changes that have to come. Like I don't maybe feel here's why I don't feel quite as bad for Aranda is because this administration has given him so many opportunities. Yeah. And 2023, that is a season that gets most coaches fired at most universities in the country. And that was 1 in 7 at home. And that was a rough deal. And the reason, and so but what's unfair to Dave, what's kind of sad about him not getting a total, he was not the man for this moment. He's still, I think, in the right situation, may end up being a really good defensive coordinator.
Yes.
He was not built for NIL and portal, and he's been very upfront about that.
Yeah, I agree.
And when he was hired, that stuff did not exist. Yeah. So Baylor had a large fumble when instead of in 2021 on a great platform, when they're 5th in the country and coming off a great season, when you have to kick it into overdrive, they did not. They leaned into their coach's sensibilities, which is, let's not really, let's not be showy. Let's not, you know what? I know people want these chrome helmets or the anthracite uniforms. Let's leave those in the closet. This is, and it took a while before even they were allowed to have some of those fun reactions on the scoreboard. Even when they finally did beat TCU, they had that great thing where they spoofed AT&T Stadium with the glare that comes in, and they had that on the background. I think that may be one of my bigger tweets ever. And I think it was Cam's picture and Cam Stewart, and I put that out there. And because it had everything, it had TCU, it had Baylor, it had the rivalry. It was making fun of Jerry Jones. And that thing,
that was funny. That was the whole thing.
It went crazy. So
no, I agree with you. I think O-line coach leaving this week, or not this week, or was it this week? That was this Monday, correct?
Yeah.
That announcement coming out
over the weekend.
Like that is, so you're already down 1. I would love to see Aranda stick around for this recruiting class that's about to come in, because I think he's really good at recruiting. He's got a lot of really good guys here that he's able to develop. So I'd love to be able to see him develop this freshman class. But I think after next year, if we don't see a change, then I'm like, yeah, we need to move forward and see a change. But
all right, well, I like it. I mean, I like I like your perspective, and I like where you're going with. I really do. I gave you a hard time, but I think what you're saying has merit, and so I like hearing it. I just think, boy, with this fan base and as mad as they are, and the empty seats that are going to be today, and then some of these games coming up, then you gotta really you have to probably make a move. All right, and thank you, by the way, Hondo Hat Company. Yes. Those hats are just great. You go to church with people involved in that. And I like that. I like good. You ought to wear one of those hats to church, I think, out there at where JP's doing some good sermons.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what we're going to do that I'm excited about is it is time for Big 12 wraparound. We're going to look at some of these games, and we'll do that next.
football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup from cars, trucks to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Alan Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports. Hello, KWTX Green and Gold Game Day Show. I am Faith Lynch with Matt Mosley. I feel like every time I bring us back, Matt always has a quiet smirk on his face to the side of me. But we have Scotty Swingler, who is now on the mic, will be on camera soon. He's going to be joining us for the big. There he is. There he is. He will be joining us for the Big 12 wraparound.
Let's do it.
That is nice to have Scotty with us, and pleased. And boy, that 8 o'clock offering that he was involved with or led, that was nice.
Oh yes, the before on the YouTube
Why'd you
channel.
look so surprised?
Sorry, well, I didn't know what you were offering. I thought it was like a church service or something. I was like, were we donating money at 8 a.m.?
I have a couple of comments here,
and
folks.
I didn't know.
First of all, Faith, Matt always has a smirk on his face. It doesn't matter if we're coming back from break or not. Second, if you're joining us on KWTX, we started at 8 o'clock on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube, Green and Gold Game Day. Part of the 365 Sports family. Yeah. Come join us on YouTube.
Yeah. And boy, great to have KWTX. Great to this morning, the parade, everything going on. It's just always it's a wonderful gathering. And I saw huge crowds downtown. And then I saw the parade. I could see it in the distance going up University, or actually turning on to campus there, wherever it heads up, not University, but, right through the heart of campus. And right there in front of the old Morris Constitutional Hall, where a young Matt Mosley went to law school, thought about becoming a lawyer, decided against that all those years ago. But what a time it is. And it does, I think we need and I think Faith helped give us, Scotty, like a little different perspective there. It's kind of like everybody's in this mode, a new coach, got to have a new coach. Sometimes you do need to go, hey, their family's involved here. I mean, it is a little odd that from a national perspective, this coaching carousel, that because they get fired so quickly now, 3 weeks in, is just always firing. And it's almost like a fun game. And sometimes it's good to kind of go, well, there are some people involved in this. Now, to Faith's point, though, with Dave, the reason I worry more about his assistants and support staff and all is because Dave is going to get paid huge no matter what. Yeah. And he will land on his feet. It's just kind of like everybody they've brought in, everybody attached to it, all the recruiting people that have done such a nice job, by the way. I mean, this team, but depending on what you look at, they're 25th, 24th.
Someone just flipped their commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Rylan Morris.
Yeah, things are happening. You know, like people are wanting to still come to Baylor through this recruiting process. So, but I'm also not naive to if we have to win games. We can't just have all these great pieces and then not produce a good product. So I'm not naive of we need to win games, maybe need to see a change, but also I think there's a little more factors that people just don't see.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a bit intimidated by that UCF helmet.
Oh my gosh.
I'm serious that these guys are going to come in here. Whew, I mean, this is what remind me of the Bears. Scotty, you do a better job of keeping up with the uniforms.
Oh.
Bears are wearing all green today. There is a bear named Marigold at Baylor.
I thought that's what you were asking.
That is true.
No, the uniforms.
The uniform.
All right, whatever.
Baylor's going monochromatic green with the Sailor Bear decal on the helmet.
Thank you, Sailor Bear.
But hey, speaking of thank you, Sailor Bear, let's thank Alan Samuels because they're going to sponsor. We're going to do a few minutes on the Big 12 here.
Well,
drive into fall at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That means huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas from powerful Ram trucks, adventure-ready Jeeps. By the way, if I had the money, that's what I'd be buying, is an adventure-ready Jeep. And new Dodges, they have the right ride for you. Thanks, Alan Samuels.
You do have the money. I mean, the financing they do out there, it is 0% for a long time.
Man, it's not Alan Samuels financing that's the problem.
No, I'll get Ted Teague over here today. He'll bring you one here to the studio. All right, good. Yes, Alan Samuels. We've been with him for years. Great friends. Obviously, we know we're getting you ready for UCF at Baylor. Also, at that 11 a.m. kick, West Virginia goes to Houston. Rich Rod has been off to a rough start this season. This needs to, I guess you could call this a trap game for the Cougs, but I don't think Willie Fritz will let them rest. And the year of the Coug continues. They had one little misstep against Texas Tech, but they've played great otherwise. And Scotty's bringing me around right now when we talk about coaches, not just for Baylor, but other places too. I am starting to like these old men.
Oh.
I
don't know.
Scotty likes his 60.
I don't like that you're making me the thing here. The bottom line.
Scotty is a huge believer.
Oh, okay. We're getting off track. All I've said is, do you think Houston is disappointed that Willie Fritz is in his 60s?
No.
Or do you think Indiana is disappointed that Kurt Cignetti is in his 60s?
I'm saying this is the year of the
coach college football. You can coach college football.
This is the year of the aging coach.
The Mosley show has spilled over.
Bears.
This is a wide age demographic we have.
Right here between the two of us. Also, Arizona, as we continue the Big 12 wraparound, Arizona State at Iowa State. And, man, tough times for Coach Dillingham in Arizona State. They lose Levitt for the season. You know, Tyson, their great wide receiver, it comes and goes. He's just not really been there for them this season. He was supposed to have a huge breakout season. And while I don't totally trust Iowa State, they've been up and down. That's a very tough environment, and I do not like the chances. This game, by the way, TNT and HBO Max.
Oh, wow.
So you can watch some of your favorite shows right after. And interesting now that more and more of these, all these different places. And by the way, there'll be when they get to the CFP, the playoff, there's actually a round that's on TNT, which is kind of interesting.
Well, they did just lose inside the NBA, so they got to get back at it somehow.
Oh,
They did. And
Matt, I've got upset alert at 2:30. Texas Tech going to Kansas State. Kansas State is on a roll. They did lose that game to Baylor last second by 1, but since they have won 2 games, they look really good. They've unlocked something there with that offense. Texas Tech, I think, is probably more vulnerable than people are saying right now.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree with that. And but if Tech does win this road game, and aren't they favored by, was it, at one point, was it 6.5?
It was 7.5 at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, not that we usually give betting advice on this show, the Green and Gold Game Day, but I think it's fine.
You always talk about the lines.
Do
of
I?
this game,
I think it's very important.
It brings a nice little, some spice, Matt.
Okay, that's what I try to bring, some spice.
Oh my gosh.
I would take K-State to cover the 7.5. But let me tell you this, if Tech wins this game, Faith, right now they're at 50% to make the playoff. This is going to be a big jump. If they get this done on the road against K-State, I think it goes all the way up to 60%. And just for perspective, the big three, we call them, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and the Indiana Hoosiers. Do you have an Indiana Hoosier helmet? I'm shocked that you haven't acquired a helmet to throw down
I don't
up here.
actually own any of these helmets in the studio.
I know, but you need to. Well, I know that, but I thought you would buy one for yourself in Indiana. Oh, look at her. Man.
I did buy a T-shirt.
Kevin is
Kevin's in the corner.
What's that? We need Kevin's podcast. We need to plug that. The Indiana Hoosiers podcast.
All Indiana Sports is Kevin's podcast.
I wouldn't do any other sports but football.
Hey, let me show you this. Let me show you what this Big 12 title race.
Please
looks
show
like.
me.
Since you're talking about Tech's odds in the playoffs, Kevin, I've got that graphic loaded in. Here's what we got left in the Big 12. These are the top. Well, it's coming. These are the top 4 teams in the Big 12.
Just put the mouse up on.
Yeah, there we go. Kevin, remove the video and throw up the. It's not working.
It's
okay.
These
Never
things
mind.
Happen.
We'll get to it later.
Oh, okay. I thought you might just talk us to the
yes. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
There's the top 4 teams in the Big 12 right now left in the title race in order. Your standings are BYU, Cincinnati, Tech, and Houston, and their remaining schedule. So again, Cincinnati at Utah tonight. That's where ESPN College Game Day is. If you look at this, guys, BYU's undefeated, but probably has the toughest road ahead at Tech and at Cincinnati. They are on a bye this week. Houston has 1 loss in conference, but look at their remaining schedule. That is really nice if you're Houston. That, compared to the others, is a path.
It really is. I mean, I don't want to believe in the Cougs because I've been trained not to, but they got to come to Waco. They've got to finish this thing in Waco.
Man, everybody's so scared of playing in Waco right now. Look at that home record against Power 4 teams in the last 4 years.
Save that for the Mosley Show. Save that cynicism. These Bears are going 8-4 here on the Green and Gold Game Day. All right, so. Hey, Sousa last year somehow believed in this team when everybody had given up.
And Sousa has given up on this team this year.
I'm not worried about Sousa this year. All right, we do have coming up, our favorite homecoming memories.
Oh, sweet.
This could bring tears.
Oh, no tears.
And I want some more shots of the parade. Do we have any of that, Scotty? I like to ask you for things at the very last second. I just want to see the parade as I talk about homecoming. And talk about those wonderful moments. Faith and I have had no choice but to attend about 30. Well, Faith's really young, so she has it. I've been to a lot of these things. We'll talk Baylor homecoming next.
International Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball. We didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge.
Yes.
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Collin is all about the team. once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, Director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out GatherCoRemodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus.
You now have two responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
Drive into fall at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. From powerful Ram trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, to adventure-ready Jeeps and stylish new Dodges, we've got the right ride for you. Upgrading, downsizing, or buying your very first vehicle, Allen Samuels has you covered with friendly service and deals that make driving fun. Don't miss the Drive into Fall event, only at Allen Samuels.
Come by. Let's be friends.
It is Green and Gold Game Day. Matt Mosley, Faith Lynch, and we're getting closer to kickoff. Thank you, KWTX. We love having you, and I love everybody who's come in here. You went to the parade, perhaps. Maybe you've gone home. Maybe you're out there tailgating now, and you've had a good evening. Last night, I kind of had the best of both worlds. I was kind of watching the bonfire from afar while kind of late running into the 10:30 showing of Pigskin Review. And Faith, my old roommate, is the MC, Blair Browning. And so Blair. He's he does a good job. He's been known to shout me out during the pigskin or make fun of wherever I'm sitting. But last night, and you and I were going to talk about some of our favorite homecoming memories and that thing. And they used to have something called, I was thinking about this, extravaganza.
Okay.
And your parents would remember this. And it was on the suspension bridge. And they lit it up. It was beautiful. And there were just a bunch of kind of fun things. I don't know what we were doing. It was like pre-food truck. There wasn't any of that going on. But it was a great time. And it was what you did on the Saturday evening after homecoming. But Baylor homecoming is just unlike, and people try to do it, and Missouri has tried to claim we got the oldest parade. I think Baylor went to the archives and has proven it, but Baylor certainly has the biggest homecoming parade. And to me, that's kind of cool for what used to be a small, Baptist institution, which is now like 20,000 students, but still, it's kind of amazing what they put on. And then, and I told Scotty, it's like when they went to those Macy's Day Parade type balloons or whatever floating around, that really kind of brought us to the next level. And it was just always cool to me to see all the local bands, the marching bands from the local high schools. The Golden Wave Band would come marching through. And then, Faith, I was later, got to be in the parade with the Student Foundation in our little rugby shirts and ride our bikes in
Yeah.
it and all of that. And you were lucky to get college kids to be out there ready to go at like 7 or 7:30. Yeah. But did you ever get involved in the building of a float or anything like that?
So I was Pi-Fi, and being in season during homecoming always kind of stunk because we were hoping that we were home at least, or we weren't on a road trip. But my first homecoming was 8 weeks old as a little baby. I had my little Baylor cheerleading outfit on. My parents took me to the parade, took a picture of me, and then watched the game in a hotel room because just, bringing an 8-week-old to a football game maybe is the best thing. But I'm trying to think of maybe some fun memories, but it was always really cool to see Pi-Fi work so hard on these floats. And they did get first place this year, which is very, very
in the
good.
float.
In the float.
It's
in
big.
the float. That's huge. I mean,
No, congrats. My KOT nephew, those guys were, because they win it a lot. But I think that great for Pi-Fi. And I heard y'all's I could hear it backstage last night. I was at the late Pigskin. You do it louder. Do it.
I just
do
love
it.
Beta Phi.
Yeah. Do it like you're proud.
It was funny going through Rush Week because my mom would sing me those songs as a baby. And I was sitting in Rush Week and I was like, this song sounds really familiar. Why do I know this? Why am I now singing the words to this? My mom would sing it to me as a baby. But anyways, I'm trying to think of some fun homecoming memories. Last year for me, we were home and getting to stand outside Austin Avenue and watch all the Pi-Fi girls walk alongside the float and wave to them and just be proud of seeing friends and Baylor students putting in so much work into this parade and then getting to see some benefit of it, of the balloons and the cold weather and having a Common Grounds latte in my hand.
Nice.
And just the football weather, have my Pi-Fi Baylor homecoming sweatshirt on, and it just really fun memories. I took my visit for volleyball on homecoming weekend, and Katie Stager was on homecoming court. So that was kind of fun to see her running into practice of just being in the parade that morning and then seeing her on the field for recognition. And yeah, I just think it's a really cool production that you're so true in saying people don't really see all the effort that goes into it. It's insane.
And we used to watch the parade on TV. And then you could, if we stayed with the Nash family over on Austin Avenue, over there near that castle, and then we would we'd watch some of it downtown, and then go get in position and watch it come through campus.
Yeah.
And the same guy doing the parade for 40 years now is J-Mo. Yeah. And I think Lori's probably been with him for a long time, and he started out in TV, and then I think they continued to use him and all of that. But it's a really neat deal. And then the game, of course, and then the pigskin aspect of it. But last night, as I was walking around campus, first of all, I was thinking, man, this is a huge police presence. Why are so many police on campus? Is there some danger around here? But the police were just kind of making sure nobody would come down the wrong roads. And of course, people like me that have forgotten how things have changed off of Bagby, and I'm taking the wrong route back there. But it just was so pretty last night, walking past Tidwell, and then the Baptist Union Building, or Baptist Student Union Building, or it used to be, and then Waco Hall, and then Armstrong Browning, which is one of the great places on campus. And then there's just, and then the game has always been, and I'm kind of glad you can go from the parade, get everybody straight out there today, and I hope folks. You talk, and Scotty, we've talked about, are they going to boo? Are people going to boo? Are people going to be? I hope it's a very supportive, feel good homecoming crowd today, and that they get behind the Bears and they come out and have a great performance against UCF.
They have watched the Green and Gold Game Day show and now understand that they need to be good, supportive Baylor fans and back our Bears. But thank you to KWTX for starting your morning with us. Make sure you stay tuned. We will be able to check our feedback fan poll when we come back.
Football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup from cars, trucks to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Allen Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports. Gold Game Day Show. I'm Faith Lynch with Matt Mosley. The shades have come back on. We are going to check our Hour 2 fan poll of the turnover margin. Why are you laughing, Matt?
I don't know. All those emojis throw me off. There's just too much. There's too much eye candy for me right there. What will the turnover margin be in this game? And I will just tell you, and I've not gotten into this whole fire this guy or fire that. I've been in such a homecoming spirit. The spirit is moving on this set today, I believe, in a lot of ways, perhaps. But these emojis, I don't know exactly. They're okay. There we go. 41% UCF with a +1 margin. And there's some disparity in this vote. 135 votes now. We've had as many as like 857. That's a very specific number that I recall. But we appreciate people getting up with us, doing the thing this morning, getting ready. Some people are watching us out from your tailgate. The SIGEPs. I will say I was not a SIGEP. I was a Fiji. But I shout out to the SIGEPs. The SIGEPs, I meant the ATOs. Sorry. I like the SIGEPs too.
Okay.
AK Psi that was my dad's. They became SIGEP. Okay. And I do love Kevin Stevenson and the SIGEPs. Shout out to you guys because y'all have a great tailgate. But some old ATOs that are much older than I am, they have the best food. I mean, it is unbelievable, the tailgate scene out there. Faith, I wish we never have had a chance. I'd like to take you around to some of these tailgates. You still are young enough where you're still hitting some of the student tailgates. As you start to do all this graduate stuff and you'll have reunions and all, you'll do the adult type, tailgate situations. And that sounds odd, but you'll, some great food. Now the poll, turnover margin. This has been extremely bad for the Bears. In fact, last I checked, they were about 124th in the country, may even be a little worse than that now. They're right in about -8 or -9. So Baylor +2 or better, boy, that really seems like a long shot, but I'd love it. I would love it. And I think something like that needs to happen. And that's why we find ourselves asking questions week after week, like, is it going to be Caleb Burns? Is it, we're almost begging some of these young players to make a play. I mean, I got to say Thornton, LeVar Thornton, who's had some rough moments this year, in recent weeks, he's actually made some plays on the ball that I like. The one thing I'll say for Dave Aranda, he's trying to throw some haymakers, and he's trying to, he likes to call these creepers, but he's blitzing, and he's bringing corner blitzes, and he's trying to heat up the quarterback, and it has worked a little, not a lot. And their inability to get pressure from just like their four-man rush or any of the guys up front, it has just been so rough. And then, of course, much like the other team I cover, the Cowboys, the run fits from a linebacker perspective and then even safeties. You wonder how these jailbreak runs happen so much to this team. And unfortunately, this UCF team and their old running back from last year, R.J. Harvey, just ran all over the Cowboys for the Denver Broncos. They've now replaced him with two more running backs that are pretty nice, pretty explosive, and they will break off some big runs. And again, as I mentioned earlier, UCF is getting better. They just came off their first conference win. They've had two really good. They've played well 2 games in a row. Today, my whole thing will be, Faith, on the turnover margin thing. Punch.
Yeah.
It's like old Peanut Tillman. He used to play for the Chicago Bears, and he was known for the peanut punch. And so but the Bears need to be doing that. It's going to be go after the ball, and they have not done enough of that this year. Even though I know coaches, it's not like they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But this has not been one of those teams. In the past, man, we were spoiled. We used to be spoiled when we would see like 3 or 4 takeaways a game. We don't see that in 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah, I think the intent is there because you're hearing Coach Randa and some of his staff talk about it in press conferences. Hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we want to do. And just kind of seems to be some disconnect with maybe ability or not communicating correct. I don't know. I think the thought is there. The thought is there.
Yeah.
It's just we're not seeing it. So I agree. Let's go punch. Matt wants to see some punch.
Yeah.
Let's give him some punch.
Yeah, I would very much like to see that. It is, we are getting close to going behind enemy lines. And that's going to be an exciting time. And we've looked at this UCF team. We know what they have, especially on defense. Let's go behind enemy lines. Let's do it next.
Finfo Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and in over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
.365 Sports.
It is the Green and Gold Game Day show. Matt Mosley right here with Faith Lynch. And Faith, this is exciting because we are going to go behind enemy lines. So much talk about Baylor, and there'll be more and sort of the essentials. We'll do Bear Essentials coming up. Again, that UCF helmet right there, man. It's a scary bunch that's coming in here. This may be the best team you'll see that's 1-3 in conference. This is not the homecoming opponent you're desperately looking for. But I keep seeing this. I keep seeing this Mission golf cars, and I see a young woman there picking up her golf car, and that right there is a fun. Those are awesome. And Faith, tell us a little bit about Mission Golf Cars. We love our partnership with Mission Golf Cars and kind of what those mean. And even just when you see those headlights coming, it's not your grandfather's, it's not your grandpa's old golf car. It's a golf. Yeah, it's a Mission.
These are cars. Mission Golf Cars, located in Waco off West Loop 340, is your one-stop shop for all your golf car needs. From sales to service, parts, rentals, even to leasing. Stop by and say hello to Stephen Kling and the crew and tell them that Matt Mosley and the Green and Gold Game Day Show sent you to receive $500 off your next new car purchase. Mission Golf Cars in Waco. Check them out at missiongolfcars.com. That's a nice little deal. $500 off for mentioning Matt Mosley and Green and Gold Game Day Show.
Or Faith Lynch, I think, would do it. I think if you mention Faith.
One of us.
Or
Maybe
even
Scotty.
You get $10 off if you mention Scotty.
We'll make sure to let them know that. Matt threw that one in.
No, that'd be fine. No, hey, mention the show. Mention the show. Anybody on the show get you that's a great discount. And love those Mission. And I mean, even if you're not a golfer, even if you just kind of want to go around the neighborhood, and those things, a lot of times, and you can go quick. These are not just, I know. They put, they used to put governors on these things. You heard of a governor?
No.
That's what it slowed down an engine. Somebody said to me one time, "Do you have a mental governor?"
Oh my gosh. All right,
You have, yes, that's what a program director once said. I do want to go behind enemy lines. And by the way, love our KWTX audience this morning. You're probably wondering why indoors I would need sunglasses. A real glare coming in from all these TV lights. And so I put these on occasionally. But great to be KWTX, and also our YouTube audience, which is big, and they're voting on things and turnover margins and exciting things like that. We're launching aren't we launching something else? Yes.
Another poll.
Yeah.
Yes. What will the result of today's game be? Bears win big, Bears win close, Knights win close, Knights win big.
Okay. And people can go and vote.
Yes. I believe so. I've been told that is why we do fan votes.
Good job.
So people can interact with votes. But let's get behind enemy lines. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this UCF defense.
The one thing I would rule out is the Knights winning big. That's not going to happen. I think all the other three things could happen. I think the Bears could have a homecoming beatdown. I'm scared. I don't like UCF. I don't have anything against them, really. That sounds, but this pass defense, that's what Baylor does best. And they're a good mix. They'll zone you up. They'll do a man. I would say that they've really been good in that area, and they've been kind of hot lately. Two games, I would say, especially going back to the Cincy game 2 weeks ago, they've played better. I think they have a representative defense. They're not a great offensive team. In fact, where Baylor has a quarterback they can trust, these guys don't. And they've used 4 different quarterbacks. And I will talk a little bit more about the defense, so thank you for setting me up on that. But for now, I did want to go back to this Scott Frost quote saying, our quarterbacks, that's been a little bit rough, but Tay is good to go. Now, that's Taven, who he's talking about, and that's one of the quarterbacks that they've played. That's Taven Jackson, and he is the quarterback. And the scary thing for any Baylor fan that's going to homecoming today is, like, please don't let him be able to run. Please, but if you can even walk or just kind of saunter around a little bit, you generally have success against this defense. They do not do particularly well against quarterbacks. He also said Ja'Cory Brown has been coming along, said Cam had the ribs and he's getting close. So we'll see. The more guys we have up, the ready, the better. All right. Now, Scott Frost, one of the reasons he was a great running quarterback, and they tried to change him and when he got in the pros, and they wanted him to play defense and all that kind of stuff. But Scott Frost played at Nebraska. His coaching career did not work out there, but he was a great quarterback. And he is a quarterback that likes to impact teams with the run. He likes to mix in the quarterback because that's his identity. That's what he did, and he was one of a long line of tremendous running quarterbacks. He was a great athlete, by the way, at Nebraska. And in fact, made a team for a while as a defensive back in the NFL. This is a guy that needed to kind of turn around his coaching career. And so what he did is he went home. It's kind of like what Baylor people, I think some people would love to see. Hey, would Matt Rule ever consider? No, that ship has sailed.
Yeah,
Matt Rule seems to be comfortable at Nebraska. If he goes anywhere, it would be to Penn State. Yeah. But Scott Frost, you got to watch coaches who Scotty and I were having this conversation the other day. You know, I told Scotty about a coach that he really likes that had been fired for various reasons, mainly losing at one point, but that coach has bounced back and been great. So I don't think that is disqualifying. Scott Frost gets run out of Nebraska, and Nebraska's had some rough moments along the way, but his best success, the reason he got that job was because of what he did at UCF. And they're remembered for their mythical claiming a national championship several years ago. But they've had, I mean, they've had really good quarterbacks. In fact, the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns was a few years ago at UCF before he started bouncing around to Oklahoma and then ended up at Oregon. And that would be Dylan Gabriel back in the day. So there's some interesting ties. I just feel like they're going to be athletic at quarterback. They're going to try to run people at you. In fact, they may play, like we said, they played with 4 different quarterbacks this year. On defense, what they're known for is just, over the years, is just speed. And I can go even back to 9 years ago when they had a guy named Shaq Griffin. Shaquem was his full name. And he was very famous, and he was a great player. He was a great pass rusher, a great linebacker. He made all kind of plays, but he had one hand, and he only had one hand. And he was just an incredible inspirational story who actually then got to go play in the NFL. But I think back to, that's what I think of is extremely fast linebackers and then safeties that hit. And this is no different from what they play right now. And, you know, I think these Baylor receivers have honestly not totally accepted the challenge recently. I think this group is going to come up and they're going to try to man them up, and they're going to try to get pretty aggressive and get pretty handsy at the line of scrimmage. From what I've seen, I'm not saying I've watched hours of UCF. I don't think that's healthy for a man or woman to do. But I think the some that I've seen, that's what they do. They want to get up and they want to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and they want to try to bruise you up a little bit on the. So I think these receivers, one of these receivers they've been fine, and overall they've had great seasons. But this is a time, you did that wonderful story on Josh Cameron, his family, what his mom went through. This is a game where he is the most physical player you have as a wideout, and you need him to be extremely physical, whether that's blocking, whether that's run after catch, whether that's getting open. I just think Baylor needs to take the fight to them today and show some pride. What I don't want to hear after this game is we have a special team. We're great in practice. Yeah. We're such a special team. We're wonderful. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of that. When you're 4-4, and so my hope is that they are 5-4, and then we'll see whatever happens to the head coach. You have a bye week. It does not seem like, to your point from earlier, it doesn't seem like Baylor loves being a school that does in-season firings, but they also know this fan base is very, very fed up. So if Dave Aranda wants a chance to coach out the rest of the season, team needs to react in a big way today.
Yeah, I agree. I think Coach Baker said this is one of the most talented receiver rooms he's ever had. And so we want to see that. We want to see, okay, this is the most talented room we've have ever been able to coach. Like we want to see all these pieces coming together in the field. But give you the game day injury update. Carl
Nice.
Williams is out. Mason Dossett again out. Jalen Jones is out. Kobe Prentice and Kendrick Simpkins are game time decisions.
Okay. Prentice, who's been a pretty good wide receiver, came from Alabama. And Simpkins, who, nobody's really played particularly well in the secondary. He is okay at times as a safety, and they really needed him to emerge, and they just haven't. And poor Carl, who knows what's going on there. But that was one of the original guys that Coach Aranda, they were trying to get him to keep Caden Jenkins, Carl Williams, and some of these other DBs, and that thing has never totally come to fruition. Now, it is time, and we're getting closer to kickoff. It is time for our Bear Essentials, and we'll do our predictions. And I'm feeling more and more confident. I'm feeling encouraged, Faith, as we get closer. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We will give our predictions for this game, and we will give you the Bear Essentials on the Green and Gold Game Day Show live.
Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
To the Green and Gold Game Day Show. I am Faith Lynch here with Matt Mosley, and Scotty Swingler is going to join us for our Bear Essentials and Predictions, which we are so excited. Matt keeps on saying we're getting closer and closer and closer to kickoff. But let's go ahead and check our poll really quick. see who has interacted, and we're not at the full hour.
Oh,
but
nice.
Bears win, close wins.
Okay.
We fired up the people, I think, this morning, Matt.
I would say so. A great homecoming crowd that's joined us now. A lot of them are at their tailgates. Shout out to the Bears on the Big Top tailgate, the old Sig Epps, Kevin Stevenson and his crew, the Pregams, lots of great tailgates out there watching us today. And they're also getting ready to pull against the horns, okay? Some people will just sit out there today and have a few beverages, some coffee, some hot chocolate, and I think it is going to get up over 70 today, though, because this morning there was a bit of a chill in the air. My goodness,
I'm not a cold weather girl at all. I have shorts on.
Spiritual here.
Meanwhile, over half of my closet was unlocked today when it was cold outside. I love a good polo sweater.
Oh, it's
good
great.
Sweatshirt.
Oh, you wear it.
Hoodies.
You wear it so well.
Thank you, Mosley.
Thank you. You bet.
Thank you for what you do.
I've got my shacket back here, but I need to put the shacket. The shacket is a great accoutrement. Bears win big. There's a part of me that think they come out and throw a haymaker today. I mean, that would be interesting for the Bears, because what it would do, we kind of think, oh man, that'd be great. But the truth is, it would make everybody be like, where's this been? Why do they have takeaways? We'd be like, well, because they're playing UCF.
Right.
UCF's not great. They're not horrible. All right. They beat West Virginia. And 2 weeks ago, they played well against Cincy. They don't give awards for that. But there are certain teams and certain coaches who do a good job, even when teams are getting beaten down, of getting them to show up on a week-to-week basis. Scotty Faith, I would submit to you, Chris Kleiman's good at that. All right. They could be 2-4 and they show up and they don't act like it because they're K-State. And it's kind of their brand. Like, hey, we may not have the greatest record, but we're gonna flat out play. And I think that's what Baylor fans are wanting the Bears to get back to. Is like, hey, no matter what's going on, like at least come out like this thing where we're down. Oh man, let's have this crazy late comeback. And it's happening too much. And it's become the story of this team.
Yeah, I would say so much of the frustration around this season has nothing to do. It does have something to do with the 4-4 record, but less than the 4-4 record. It's how we've got
correct,
which is what you're saying. Is we've seen this team in spurts play up to this level that's very, very impressive, but it's never in the first half of a game.
Nothing consistent.
And so you're talking about getting up and putting in that effort, even if you lose. I think if Baylor looks like they're playing, the way that they've played some of these fourth quarters more often, there's a little more grace for when you lose. So, by the way, speaking of Bear Essentials, broken record here, folks. Let's start fast. Let's try scoring 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Wouldn't that be something,
Pace yourself, sir.
No, that's the issue. We do not want to pace ourselves. We need a quick start today, especially on offense.
I'd be all for it. I think today, Faith brought up the fact that Sawyer made the statement, hey, only got a couple of games left here. And that one horrible season, 2023, was just a horrible march to the end, because it was just like they were losing all those games at home. Yeah. This guy has had so many great moments and great games, and he battled through a tough season when he got thrown in there probably before he was ready. Then he got beat out for the job. They didn't even give him the job going into Quan Finn got it going into last season. He had an incredible season. Like, he deserves a really nice send-off this season. And to do that, he needs help. He needs Trig to be Trig. Trig has moments where he'll check out. He also has moments of great competitive fire. And I told Scotty or somebody recently, I think it was Scotty, that I didn't even mind that. I think it was that last game, he was over there having a meltdown. I was like, hey, if somebody wants to throw a fit, I'd like to see it, because it's not going to happen from the head coach. That's not he's too docile, and that's not what, and that's what fans have wanted forever. It's never going to happen. And so I did not mind Trig being upset. So I like to start the fast. I think, you got to have a great game from Sawyer. And then let's continue to turn this young running back loose. I mean, I think it's probably time. I hate it, because Bryson Washington was poised to have a breakout, tremendous season. It's like, oh, can we have Bryson? Can Bryson do this? He's not physically there. He's not able to get through games. It's almost at this point tough to watch, because you're only going to get 7 or 8 carries from him, and then he's done. So whether it be Michael, Caden, look to the future and get these backs going, because the young buck, again, I'm not saying they're great yet, but Turner, there's a physicality that they need, and whether it be a Betty and somebody on that old line needs to refamiliarize themselves with like what it is to be nasty.
Yeah,
like the center in the past, Baylor has had a center, and I thought this year's center was going to be that guy because he is smart. I think he's a pretty good leader, Colton, but it just hasn't come together, and they haven't done a good enough job. And boy, it would be really fun on homecoming to get one good hard look at this team.
I think you win this game at home today. I think it provides a nice spark to Baylor Nation of, hey, we can do this. I think Scotty's point of, we don't want to maybe see a win, but we want to see just good football. We could lose today, but if we play well and all these pieces that we've been talking about all season click, like let Trig be Trig. Like go be consistent for a couple of plays. Don't go drop a ball. Don't go make a catch. Don't go score and then have another fumble. Just be consistent. If you're going to be bad, be bad. Be consistently bad. If you're going to be good, be consistently good. Like I just want to see some consistency from this team today.
Yeah, I think if you play your best football, though, you don't lose today.
Exactly. So that's where I'm
like so you're saying like, hey, like let's be consistent, but like maybe we'll lose and we'll feel better. No, if this team plays up to its potential, you don't lose to UCF.
Yeah.
If this team plays, against TCU the way it did in the fourth quarter, against Auburn the way it did late, against Arizona State the way it did at its best, you win those games as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if this team plays to its potential, and maybe I'm stubborn, I still think this team was a Big 12 title capable squad. To Matt's point, I love Michael Turner, man. Give me Michael Turner all day long. Take some pressure off. I saw, who was it that wrote the article this week? I cannot remember. One of our good friends in the media here wrote a Sawyer Robertson has to be a hero every week article. And that stinks, man. It stinks how it seems we put him in that position every week.
Yeah, and it would be nice, speaking of heroes, if somebody on defense. Can you give Dave Aranda or anybody on the staff like the injury excuse? The Cowboys, for instance, traded some incredible, with Micah Parsons as pass rusher right before the season. Baylor has lost players along the way, but Keaton and Jackie did get healthy. The pieces still seem to be there. And I just, the utter lack of a pass rush and the inability to get sacks. You even watch, Texas has not been a good team this year. A&M has. Mm-hmm. But both of them have, Colin Simmons is the one at UT. Cassius Howe is at A&M. And they both just are constantly just eating quarterbacks alive. And the lack of any sort of threat in that area has been very, very frustrating. So that is my homecoming wish. I'd like to see somebody come through, and whether it be Kyler Jordan, Jackie, Fobbs White, Matthew Fobbs White, come breaking through the line and put a hit on a quarterback. These quarterbacks for UCF are just they're just all broken ribs. Mm-hmm. Every one of them. They're like, oh, this guy's got broken ribs. Those guys coming back from a hand, he broke something. They're all broken men. They're all broken. What do they say at church? It's a broken.
We're all broken people in a broken world, man.
We're broken people. That'll be tomorrow morning.
Dave's gonna say that at his press conference post game.
Oh no.
We're all broken.
We're a broken nation.
World. We just got a couple minutes left, guys. Y'all want to make some predictions? What do we think's going on today?
I'd love to make a prediction. By the way, can I just do a shout out real quick? I just realized the Simcox family watching from home, and Sawyer and Bradley and Abigail and the whole Simcox family. That's the Stephen Simcox family, my longtime cohort in radio, unbelievable guy. And they're all watching today. So I don't know. He may have turned it to cartoons by now, but Simcox, hello. And we're thinking about you, buddy. And we appreciate you and appreciate your viewership. Bears win this one today. 38-28, kind of a comfortable So whatever the graphic was where Bears win big, I'm going to call 10 points big. All right. Covering the spread more than double that, and the Bears win 38-28.
Okay. I'm going to follow your theme. I'm going to go Bears win 35-24.
Okay. All right. Bears by 11.
You know, you guys gave me a hard time because I picked against the Bears a couple weeks ago. UCF 31-28.
It's homecoming. It is literally homecoming.
I know it's homecoming, and it's going to break my heart. I started this entire show by saying, I love you, Baylor. I love you, homecoming. 31-28 Knights. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
I'm so sorry that Scotty put a damper on things right here at the end of the show. Thank you to all our partners, Brazos Landing, Mission Golf Cars. I mean, it's our friends at C&B. Golly, we appreciate all you guys. This has been an incredible day. It is homecoming for Faith Lynch and the great Scotty Swingler. Happy homecoming. And get your sickums up, guys. Put them up. Put them up. We'll see you next time.
Football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup from cars, trucks to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Alan Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports.